I've been wheelbarrowing soil from the drive all the way down to the bottom of the garden, which is about 200 metres away for like 8 days now, and my back is pretty much in tatters. But this job is nowhere near finished. I still need to fill 150 sandbags to build a retaining wall. Right, so let me explain why I'm doing all this. So our garden is super steep, and because of that, big chunks of it are basically useless as a garden, and they just turn into like a wasteland in the wood, and they're just not great to play in. You can't do anything in there, so they're just a bit crap. And for the last 8 months there's been an enormous log pile in the woods in the bottom of the garden that's needed to be chopped. And now that's done, the plan has always been to terrace the bottom part of the garden, so there's this big old flat space to play in. It links the flat part of the garden that's behind the house all the way through the woods and up the track to the corner of the garden, which is kind of like the least steepest part. And when we get on to one day maybe renovating the house, the plan has always been that we could get diggers or materials into the garden using this track. We started it like a year ago now, and it was super expensive to do because we bought in loads of gravel, and it was like £500 a load. We needed 2 loads at the time, so it's like £1,000, and that was nowhere near finished. And to be honest, it was just a job that I didn't want to do. It's like back-breaking wheelbarrow labour that involves just moving material all the way down the street, all the way down the garden and dumping it here. And I've just been putting it off for so long. The pile of logs was a good excuse, and now that's done. It's tidy, it's sorted, no excuse to get it done. Next door, very timely, have actually just been digging out the footings for a house that they're building in their garden, and I very politely asked if I could have some of the soil that they were digging out, because it was like really good fill soil. It's not like topsoil that would just absorb loads of water and would be horrible to play in. It's like proper fill material. So they dumped probably 40 tons on our drive, and I set about wheelbarrowing it all the way from here all the way down to here. And the only way we can do that is to wheelbarrow it all the way down the street, all the way down the garden and into here. It's realistically, it's like a 200-meter journey there and back. So every wheelbarrow takes 400 meters to get it to and from the pile. I've been doing that for like 8 days now so far, and my back is pretty much in tatters. But the next job we've got to do is, because we started building the retaining wall to kind of fill the soil into out of sandbags, I need to fill a load more sandbags. I've got 150 that I bought off Amazon, and I'm going to try and do it in a day. I don't know why I'm going to give myself that job, but I just want this job done. There's so much mud on our drive, I want it tidy. So let's get cracking, let's see what we can do. The only way I can think to fill these sandbags easily and quickly is I've created this contraption. It's out of 4 plant pots and some old bits of timber that I found around the garden, and it just works. You put the sandbags in, you chuck soil at it, you fill them, you fill a bit more once they're out, you stack them, and then tomorrow, or maybe the day after, or whenever I get them done, I've got to carry them all in. So that's another 150 trips to and from the garden with a sandbag on my shoulder. I cannot wait. Just think of all the cake I'm going to get to eat because of the calories I'm going to burn. And this is the last one. So it definitely didn't take me a day to complete like I thought it would, and to be honest, trying to fill 150 sandbags in a day straight after doing a full day of moving soil with a wheelbarrow was probably a bit ambitious. It's taken me 3 days, a few hours here and there, so it's really not that bad. So the next thing we've got to do is take all of these all the way down to the garden as 150 trips, because I can't really carry more than one at a time. So let's get cracking. Before I just steam ahead and start building this wall out of sandbags, I'm going to put a brick line in so at least I can get a straight line, because I haven't done it before out of pure laziness, and to be honest, it doesn't look as good as it could do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that this bit's right. Maybe because I'm filming myself and I've got to do it right now. So at least we've got a nice straight line to follow. Then I can start chucking the bags down and it'll look great. Right, now that's sorted, we can start laying sandbags in a straight line. Right, that's the last one for this row. Now, at the end of every row, I need to get the tamper or the whacker plate and flatten all of the sandbags so they look like this. Because otherwise, if you stack them too high, they start to like fall over and it just doesn't make a good wall. Whereas I found that if you flatten them, they're really sturdy. Trains are so loud, it's absolutely ridiculous. So, oh, I'm out of breath. So, once I've got all these tamped down, got 2 left to do, this whole row's finished. The next one, I'm going to lay perpendicular, because fill the soil in, lay the next set of bags perpendicular, it kind of locks them in a little bit, so if you stand on the edge, the pressure isn't going onto the wall, it's kind of going down and into the soil. And then I'll put another bag on top to kind of fill again, so it's got a nice neat line. So tamp these down. Next job is wheelbarrowing a load more soil down into the garden, filling up against this wall, getting that nice and flat, and then 2 more levels of bags. One's going to be quite a few because they're perpendicular, so there's twice as many, and then another one on top, and then this job is done. Nearly there, can't wait. And that, for now at least, is the last one. So, what I've got to do is, now, bring all the sandbags down and lay them perpendicular to this line, or to this wall, up to about here. This next job, boring as it is, that's what we've got to do. Feels so good to get that job done. A little bit of tamping just to finish it off, but no more moving sandbags for this job. I've got 14 left out of 150, so what's that, 136 that we've moved to get down here. But yeah, gassed. I'm so happy that it's done. Just a bit of soil moving tomorrow morning and that's it, job finished. This is the very last one. I'm really happy. I'll just get this tipped, get it raked out and flat. Done. And that is it. Finished. I think it's taken me 3 weeks in total. I'm going to say 30, maybe 35 tons of soil, 136 sandbags, but we're done. It's by nowhere near
perfect or the total finished article. We'll eventually build a wall in front of the sandbags to make it look pretty. That'll be nice and straight, it'll be out of dry stone, it'll look awesome. We'll get topsoil over all of this and then we can lay a lawn on it so it's really nice to play on rather than just a flat area of mud. I just ordered another 300 sandbags, so the next job for next week is to fill those. I've got a far more exciting project than a retaining wall and filling it with soil next week, and I can't wait to share it with you. If you watch to the end of this video, I really appreciate you. This is my first one. I've given it my best shot to make it as interesting as possible. All I do is want to make these videos to entertain people, to encourage people to take on those big projects, because if you just keep chipping away at them, they are fairly easy and simple guys like myself can do it. Follow me on Instagram if you want updates on the day-to-day and what's going on straight away. I update my stories all the time on where I'm at with every project. But other than that, have a great day. Peace.